Soft men create hard times. Hard men toughen up soft men. That's right. These hard men, they toughen up these soft men. They make them hard, really hard. Harder than they believe they could ever possibly be. If you put one hard man in a room with one soft man, soon that soft man will be rock hard. When that hard man is done with that soft man, after a few hours, you'll see two guys who are hard hanging out together. Two men in one room, alone together, and they're both very, very hard.
Welcome to the Sin Bin. I am Sir Mike Knight. This is Audacity. As you can see, we are no longer posted on the Discord. We are officially unofficial. We call this our heel turn or our villain arc. Audacity, why are we unofficial?
I know there was a big thing on one of the Monday morning podcast where they discussed how we went separate ways. That's the nicest way to say it. The actual way is that we were kind of asked not to post anymore. They said that we were a bit too negative as we were old men, and that's pretty much what old men are. Get off my goddamn lawn. They said that we weren't a good look for the league, which is understandable. We're both ugly motherfuckers. We shouldn't be using cameras. And they said it's not the direction they want the league to go into, which I understand again, because normally we are the more negative downside of the sports news, like your Stephen A. Smiths and other guys that will tell you the truth that Cowboys truly do suck.
Yeah, it is what it is, but here we are. So we are officially unofficial. So if you are seeing this, if you got the link to this from myself or Audacity, please pass it along to the other people in the league. And if you want to see it every Sunday morning, like we were originally meant to be, go ahead and subscribe to Audacity's YouTube, and he'll post it every Sunday.
Yep, every Sunday. We do this pretty much out of just enjoyment. There's no money or anything. We don't look for investors. I do it because I like to hear you guys laugh. I like to hear a little bit of controversy and some buzz conversation. You know, I'm always in the chat box trying to egg conversation on. And this is just my way of doing it. Mike also loves to do it. And we love talking sports hockey and having a good time while doing it.
Speaking of a little stir the pot, the league stirred the pot a little bit by announcing their strikes. We call this for love of the shame.
Shame. Shame. Shame. Shame. Shame. Shame. Shame.
So, Cruel Bloom put out the strike announcements a couple weeks ago. He got one strike for side effect for leaving the third game. One strike for Chumlee for leaving a game early, and a second strike for failing to return to his scheduled series. And Rufio was also issued a strike for leaving his game early.
And that was Tampa.
Very Tampa. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say that, but it is what it is. I wasn't on that team. That ain't my joke.
Rufio made it public. We released it to the public in the chat.
So here's what I want to say about this. Because I did watch the Monday podcast. Mm-hmm. You guys know what that's called, but again, we're unofficial, so we cannot talk about shit that happens in, official shit that happens in the league.
We're the Fight Club of the sports shows.
We don't talk about Fight Club. So Swizz had said that he doesn't believe that they should be publicly shamed because it tarnishes their reputation. Here's what I have to say about that. You tarnished your own goddamn reputation by doing this.
Mm-hmm.
You really did. You don't leave a game early. I don't give a shit how pissed off you are, and you definitely don't not return to the next fucking game.
Yeah, there's more to the game than just your stats. There's more, to me, at risk when guys do that. It creates a negative effect all the way down to even the other team is upset because you can't get another player to play the game. Now you're hunting. Now everybody's got to wait for the other team to fill the hole, and it's not even their fault. I feel that public shaming of this is the appropriate method. I think that if you don't want your name in the papers, you don't do something to get your name in the papers. It was the Washington Post rule. That's what they used to teach me when I sold cars. They said anything that you would do that you'd be ashamed of your family seeing printed in the Washington Post, you don't do. So if you don't want leaving games early associated with your name, you don't want quitting on your team associated with your name, you just don't do it. If the team's upsetting you and you get aggravated, do what I do. I unplug my mic, take my headset off, I disconnect for a little bit, and then I'll put my headset back on. I mean, I did it this weekend or this week playing against Gold Standard. I was getting a little aggravated. I got hit up with a bunch of cross creases, and I was like, I'm not going to say anything because my negativity will flow into other players' negativity.
Yeah. So I mean, that's all I really have to say about this. You know, Swizz brought out, it ruins their reputation, blah blah blah. They ruin their own reputation. I don't agree with his assessment.
Well, other leagues that we played into, they have it where it's public knowledge, and they show the rule they violated, and they said the violation and the time it happened. And it's a way of transparency. You can't sit there and preach that you want transparency in the league, but then hide things like that. Um, because the next owner, when he goes to trade for him, he doesn't know what he's getting, and now you traded him, and he's pissed off because he's on another bottom team, and he starts quitting on that team also.
Absolutely. I mean, and even Chum Lee's kind of still being kind of a pain, but he's staying within the rules.
It's within
Just
the
not
rules.
joining parties, not joining the team's parties, just being an all around just terrible teammate. But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
Had to just throw that in there. So let's do the big section here. We call this buy sell.
102 bid for 108 sold.
We're going to give you the 5 teams that are on the cusp or just in to the last 2 playoff spots, because we can all agree that Just Gonna Send It, Gold Company Elephants, and Lucky Sevens are kind of running away with the league. So there are 5 playoff spots. We are going to give you 5. We're going to give each other 5 teams and say whether or not we buy or sell this team. Is it a playoff team or is it not a playoff team? And that is the current roster. So let's start from the bottom team on this list. We are not doing bully sticks or money shot just because we believe that they are too far out to be put in here. So we'll start with Plan B.
Plan B, I'm on a sell. An hour before the game last night, he's still making trades. Consistency is the key. Depth is the key. Having the right players play all the time is the key. Teaching a system is the key. Even though if the system's not perfect, if all your guys understand where they need to be and how each other plays, that's very important. And we're in week 5, week 6?
5.
Week
Just
5?
5. Yep.
And your team still barely knows each other's names and hasn't unpacked their suitcases at home because they don't know if they're going to be sticking around or not. I think the impatientness of it, I think Prime put it best in chat. He said it's like a baker opening them the oven and checking the cake every 2 seconds. You're not giving it time to bake.
I completely agree with you. I am also going to sell Plan B. Plan B, they come out hot. I don't know if you guys listened to Tuesday's cast of the games, but I did talk about Plan B real quick because they were up in the series. They did end up winning the first game, and I said, watch, they're going to drop the next 2. Why did I say that? Because they come out every night hot, play the first game great, and then absolutely trash themselves the second and third game. And it's just a pattern for Plan B. It is always like that. Or against a really good team, they'll start out hot in the first period and a half, and then absolutely get demolished and lose the game after that. It's just how Plan B operates, and I just don't see that going anywhere other than right there. And if you're winning 1 out of 3 games a night, you're not going to make the playoffs.
And I think they have the talent to do it. I think the biggest thing is that, again, with the short amount of time these players have with each other, you have one plan. And it's funny, you don't have a plan B. So when the other team adjusts to you, you still are still doing the same thing because that's the only thing you know how to do together is the simplest parts of hockey. So I feel they'll grow. Though if they can pull themselves together, get some consistency, they may have a shot. But I'm not buying it.
Do you think they should go with Plan C or Plan B? I believe that's the coat hanger and the set of stairs.
I think yes, they should go with the set of stairs.
Yeah. Mighty Dex.
This one's a tough one. I mean, one week they come out, they look good. The next week they come out and they look bad. And I mean, they looked bad against Money Shot, who struggled all season long. And so I don't know. I mean, I'm going to have to go with Sell. I just don't see them pulling it together enough to get in that number 5 spot.
Can I put Hold? Can I do Hold?
I think Hold's a good one too.
I think Hold's a great one. Mighty Deeks, I think they have the pieces. I think they know they have the pieces, and they have crawled out of the basement. And I believe that they could possibly, maybe, if one of these other 3 teams that we're about to mention, or 2 of them actually would have to in order for them to make it the playoffs. But I honestly think I think they could make it either squeak in or just miss.
I 100% agree that they could, but I don't know. I mean, it all depends on the next couple teams on where do we see them falling at. I mean, let's move that right into main event.
We can.
Main event's a team that I don't know. I have no
They're
idea.
They're so confusing.
They're the best team on paper. Hands down, everyone says Balfour is one of the best goalies. They have one of the best goal defensive tandems. They have great forwards, yet they can't win a game. And it's not like they're scoring a lot of points and just getting outscored. It's just like one game they'll shut everybody down and it's like they're locked down, and the next game they're just nothing. It's like 6 guys just showed up to play a scrim. I don't know.
They're right there among the bottom teams on letting goals in. They're sitting at 99 goals against.
Mhm.
They're at a negative 14 goal differential. The last negative team out of the teams that we're talking about. They're so confusing because on paper, like you said, they're great, but they also kind of went the Plan B route, not to the extent that Rob did. Right? It's not like he is trading like 2 or 3 times every week, but I mean, they don't have many people left other than the people that they drafted.
Yeah, he trades people, I think, a little bit too fast. I still think, and I said that Young and Swizz combo was going to be a deadly combo, and
Yep.
I felt he didn't get enough for Young. I mean, he was your number 1 scorer, and you let him go, and you never replaced it with the number 1 scorer again.
Yeah.
I don't get it, but if anything, I'll put a hold on main event. I mean, I don't really see it. I don't see selling it. I think they could still squeak in, but I'm going to put a hold on them because they might click.
I'm selling. I'm fully selling. I think Mighty Dex takes them over next week.
Okay, I like it. That's a bold prediction.
Yeah, that's yeah, absolutely. So here is the people standing in the last playoff spot right now, and that's Gold Standard. They are actually tied in points with Main Event. They just have one more regulation win than Main Event.
I'm buying. what I saw in that game against me, I'm buying. I think that uh, there's not very many teams that can beat them. Even though last night I think they did get they lost a game.
They did.
Um,
They won two in overtime and lost one.
yeah, and that was to you guys, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and like I said, they also didn't have Young on the ice.
For the first two games.
Okay, yeah. So I I mean
But they had
I'm
Phasar. It's not like they. It's not like
Fazar's
they
a
had a
good
stud.
player too.
Phasar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean I'm definitely in the buy-in for them. I think that they're definitely going to make a playoff spot. How far up they go is on them. I mean, if they're going to be able to get the fourth or the fifth, or even maybe somehow sneak into the third if Lucky Sevens or Gold Companies falls down, that could possibly happen. But
I,
I think they're true.
I'm also buying. Uh, I'm buying for the fifth spot. These guys are sitting at a 2 goal differential,
Hmm.
right? They are the third team to hit the 100 goal mark this season. Uh, Behind Lucky Sevens, who are way above it, and tied with Gold Company Elephants. Both teams hit it last night. Hit the
Oh
100
yeah.
goals. Um, Yet they allow 98. Their defense is a little suspect. Their offense is stout. And now the last team, medium-sized men. Audacity, you're gonna have to do this one. I don't want to sit here and we all know where I stand on my own team, so I don't think we need to say anything, or I need to say anything.
I mean, for medium-sized men, I'll say this: they have proven to themselves to be a pretty defensive team. You're just going to fill that right up on the camera. Okay, I see you. Talk about multitasking. I'm going to start mixing drinks on the next show since that's what we're doing.
Uh,
Way to be professional, Mike. Way to be professional. So medium-sized
Far enough.
men, they I hate you so much. So medium-sized men are a team that started out, in my opinion, really slow. Um, they struggled, I thought, to get together. I thought Huge was just really going to shit the bed this season, from what I was seeing. Um, some bad moves. Rufio came in there. He toxied it up a little bit. That's where he earned his strike at. And he made some moves and got himself climbed out of the bottom into the fourth spot, into a playoff spot. And I think he secured himself a pretty solid team. To hold gold standard to 2 overtime losses last night and to win one from them, I think is a great job. So, secured 4 points at a possible six. I'll take that any day. I'm going to buy, 100% buying.
Careful. Be careful,
Why's
because
that?
the rest of the league doesn't have you.
The what?
I'm just saying. Say they might think that you're treating me like McNasty's treats Swizz.
Oh no, they know you're bad. I, I they I mean the one weak spot I could point at is Mike. That's why he's in the booth more than he's on the ice.
Yeah, right. But, although I've only been in the booth once, I'm hoping to come back.
It was good. I
I
enjoyed
had
it.
to play yesterday. I had to play yesterday, so I couldn't be in the booth. As a matter of fact, I don't think anybody ended up in the booth. Fatal got
I was
traded
amazed my
just
phone
before the
didn't ring.
show. Yeah,
They,
Fatal got traded just before the show. No, Rye Guy actually, he was like, so who can we have? And somebody said Audacity. I was like, Audacity's the only goalie in Just Gonna Send It.
I was off that night.
He's gonna be playing. I didn't know.
Yeah, I would have been on there. It would have been probably the most Norm Macdonald calling of everything. Oh, that guy just took the puck over there, and he's like going to shoot it. Yeah.
Mix in a little John Madden and you're good. Just boom every time
Yeah.
somebody hits.
He's either going to shoot it or pass it here. John Madden was the worst at that kind of stuff.
Oh my god! What's going to happen is they're either going to go for it or they're going to kick the field goal. Like, no, I thought they were gonna punt from the 10 there, John Madden, fucking idiot. You know, it is what it is. So that's buy sell. Let's cut into the sin bin. Audacity. Who's in the sin bin?
I mean, it's hard to put one person in the sin bin for this one. And I'm going to circle back around to the beginning of the show, our heel turn. I'm putting everyone that hated us in the sin bin. All the ones that thought that we're not worth of it, all the ones that think we're not part of a brand, all the ones that think that we're not funny because we have the sense of humor of an 8-year-old boy. All those people can go into the sin bin. And all those people are going to get pictures of my balls with this episode. So you'll know if you're one of them.
We have a saying here in New England as Patriots fans. They hate us because they ain't us.
I feel you.
Yeah. So yeah, I know it looks like I'm looking off camera, and it's because I am. I promised Bagshot that I would quote him for my sin bin. And I'm looking for that quote right now. My sin bin is Swizz World. Why is it Swizz World? So last night we waited 25 minutes to start the game. Okay, shit happens. Whatever. I'm not. You know. I mean, like, shit happens. You have to trying to get players, blah blah blah, and you're trying to do that while the other team is messaging you, like, what the fuck's going on, blah 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 blah. I get that, dude. I've been there. I've done that, and I have the fucking T-shirt for it. So I definitely get what's going on there. However, once you get into the game, we're in game 3 at 11 o'clock at fucking night, and you're watching fucking replays. Every replay. So Bagshot actually he says saving his replays so Scribs to jerk off to on Sunday. And I asked him, I said, can I quote that? And he said, absolutely. So come on, man, it's 11 o'clock at night. I'm already tired as fuck, dude. Especially since I have to pay attention the entire time because I'm covering Swizz the entire fucking game, which is hard. It's hard. Especially with my lack of thumbs. It requires all my concentration. I don't want to be sitting there watching every fucking replay.
Oh, who does? That's the worst.
He did it to us last time we played him too, and blamed it on the weed.
Oh my god, that's pretty funny.
So that's all the time we have for this episode of the Sin Bin. From myself, Audacity. Hey guys, keep the faith.